Hey everyone, it's Mike from Orderflows here, and I'm excited to tell you about the recent upgrade that we made to the Orderflows Delta Scalper that I think is just going to blow your mind. Now, the Delta Scalper allows you to see positive or negative expansion between buyers and sellers so that you can take low-risk trades in the market. And since its first release in 2016, we have made several upgrades to isolate the highest probability trades. We've added price action to it, we've added momentum to it, and over the last 6 months, we've been working on an upgrade in the programming for the Delta Scalper. And what it is, it's multi-time frame or chart analysis, and the results have really been outstanding. Now, the Delta Scalper is a tool, like I said, designed to pick up potential shifts in supply and demand, which are caused by big orders getting filled in the market that otherwise may go unnoticed. In other words, it's a way to pick up iceberg orders. Everyone likes to talk about icebergs nowadays. And think about it, we released this indicator in 2016 when just a few people were understanding what icebergs are, but now everyone talks about icebergs, which are big orders that have hidden quantities behind it. And if you look at, the depth of market or, even a market heat map or book map, you only see what people want you to see in the sense of they're showing, part of their order. But of course, once the order trades, then that volume shows up in the volume, of course, right? It has to by the exchange and by the rules of trading. Once the trade happens, it prints. And the Delta Scalper is a tool that picks up on that hidden volume once it trades, because once it trades, it's not hidden anymore, right? And the Delta Scalper is a tool that you could add to your trading without having to use a volume footprint chart unless you want to. Some people like to trade just off of candlestick charts, and that's fine. Delta Scalper was designed to run on candlestick charts. But again, many order flow traders use it with their footprint chart as well. And like I said, the upgrade deals with higher time frames, right? It deals with multi time frames compared to now. So let's understand the order flow on higher time frames and why it's crucial for short-term traders, right? Because Delta Scalper, again, is about taking points out of the market, when they present themselves, and why you should look for higher time frame signals on lower time frame charts. And what I mean by that is, if you trade a 1-minute chart, you could now look at signals on the Delta Scalper for a 5-minute chart, for a 10-minute chart, for a 15-minute chart. It's up to you. Now, the reason why higher time frames are important is because higher time frame trends are longer and harder to reverse. Bigger moves are likely to originate from higher time frame levels, right? I mean, if your move is, on a higher time frame, technically it's going to be stronger. Price can take more time to resolve the higher time frame levels, and what that means is it can take more time to reverse a higher time frame level. Dominant trend is more reliably derived from a higher time frame chart. As much as I love to read order flow about what's happening right now, if there was a way, I always, over the years, I said, there's a way. I wish I could also see signals from the higher time frame in the order flow without having to sit through an hour-long chart of a footprint, because there's a lot of data and it's hard. And the nice thing is about the computer is it does that analysis for you. And what Delta Scalper does now, it has the ability to do, it's going to do that hourly. Well, I don't use hourly. I use 15 minutes, 5-minute, 10-minute, and even sometimes I will look at 30-minute time frames, and it's going to put it on my 1-minute chart that I trade. So imagine, I could be clued in on something that's happening on a 30-minute chart. On my 1-minute chart, I can jump in and scalp it. Okay. And again, generally higher time frame trends last longer than lower time frame trends. Okay. And generally this should be self-evident, but it's easily forgotten because, if you're looking at a move on a 30-minute chart, it's probably going to be a bigger move than on a 1-minute chart. But if you can take that information from the 30-minute chart, say, hey, a move is happening on this 30-minute chart, put the signal on your 1-minute chart, I think that's very powerful. Now, again, like I said, the problem that I faced with trying to analyze order flow on a higher time frame was sitting through a higher time frame footprint. It's honestly, it's excruciating trying to sit through a 30-minute, if you're a short-term trader like me, it's excruciating trying to sit through a 15-minute, a 30-minute footprint chart waiting for it to form so you could figure out your analysis. Because, oftentimes with those longer time frames, things change dramatically within, just that time period. Okay. Now, with higher time frame, there's no need to be entirely uniform in time selection. And what I mean by that is, if you want to use a, 15 minute, a 20 minute, a 30 minute, it's up to you, right? You could put all those signals on your chart. So if a higher time frame structure is doing its job, then the lower time frame structure is unlikely to reverse, right? Because think of the higher time frame as the bigger brother to the lower time frame, right? And we all know generally, at least in my family, the older kid bullies the younger kid. The younger kid may have a lead for a little while, but the higher time frame is going to take over. Now, the best setups are when the higher time frame and the lower time frame are aligned. And what that means is, if the higher time frame obviously is going up, lower time frame is going up, that's going to be your best trade. And you hear it all the time with traders. Oh, I like to do the top-down approach. I start at the weekly chart, the daily chart, the 4-hour chart, the 1-hour chart, the 15-minute chart, and waiting for it all to be aligned. Now you can sort of do it on a smaller level, right? You could take a 15-minute chart, maybe, or a 5-minute chart, align it with your 1-minute chart. Okay, but really, let's go look at the chart. So I think that's going to give you, the best idea of what I'm talking about. Now, let me just dig up my charts here, because it's one thing to talk about it, but when you can see it in real time. So this is the E-minis, a 1-minute chart. Okay, and this is the footprint chart. And to be honest, reading it, okay, if you're skilled in order flow, you like looking at this chart, but I'll be honest, a lot of people don't like to look at a footprint chart. That's just the way it is. They get scared by the big numbers, but really there's a lot of good information in a footprint chart. So the Delta Scalper will run on the footprint chart as well as a bar chart, which I'll jump to in a second. But really, the Delta Scalper is based off of reading the delta numbers at the bottom, which is the difference between the aggressive buyers and the aggressive sellers. And, when you start seeing expansion one way or the other, either positive or negative, positive would be, the aggressive traders taking over and starting to dominate, and expansion to the downside, being aggressive sellers are taking over, right? And Delta Scalper will draw a zone out from there if it's not retested immediately, and it'll stop drawing the zone out. But more importantly, it'll draw the up triangle for the buy signal, the down triangle for the sell signal. Okay, and again, it's a great tool to complement a footprint chart, especially if you're new to reading order flow. It's a way to sort of fast track your way to understanding order flow, because it's going to, again, you can start by watching the delta, seeing what's happening, and sort of start to learn, the importance of tools like delta. Okay, but like I said, we've added a few new tools over the years, or not tools, but rather, new things on the Delta Scalper that will help traders to take better trades, right? We've got the swing filter, so if you want to just see signals at swing highs or swing lows, you can do that. The positive delta strength as well, and negative delta strength, keep them aligned. 1 and 1 is the base, which most people are going to use. You can go a little bit higher, 2 and 2, or 3 and 3. Now, one thing to note with that is it's not an incremental change. It's a double. It's a double and then a double again. So if you go from 1 to 2, the strength that you're looking at, think of it like this. If positive delta strength, say the base, say the number was 10. If you go from 1 to 2 on your delta strength, it goes from a reading of 10 to 20. And then if you go to 3, it's not 10, 20, 30, it's 10, 20, 40. The 20 is now doubled. But for most people, just 1 is fine. 1, 2, or 3 is the most you're going to go up, is 3. Momentum strength, right? If you want to be trading in the direction of the market, meaning you're trading in the momentum, you could set it between 1 and 6. Actually, 0 would be to disable it. 3 is middle of the road. It's average. To me, that's what I use is 3. Okay, now if you're using the swing filter, obviously you're going to want to turn off the momentum strength, because if you're trying to isolate swing highs or swing lows, you're trying to isolate a reversal, so you're not looking for momentum. Now, the new thing that we've added in here is this one, period type. Okay, and you can change it to tick, volume, range, second, minute. Okay, so like I was saying, if you want to change it to, keep your underlying base chart a 1-minute chart, but you want to look at signals on a 15-minute chart, you would do that. Say you want to base it off volume, right? This is E-minis. I don't know what you'd use for E-minis. Some people like to look at E-minis on a 10,000 range, 10,000 volume chart, then you just type in 10,000. Okay, maybe you want to do it on 5,000. Okay, you could even do seconds. You could go below your chart. So if your chart's a 1 minute, maybe you want to do 5 seconds. You're gonna get a lot of signals that way. You could do range. If you want to see the signals on your 1 minute chart based off of a 10 range chart, you could. Same with tick. Right? Say you want to say 2,000 ticks or something. You just change it there, then click apply. Now, let's just jump to really quick a simple bar chart here. Okay. Now, the reason why I'm going to jump to a bar chart because it's a little bit easier to see it develop on a bar chart. Okay, so this is a bar chart. Now, again, this is E-minis. Today, I'm recording this. What day is today? Today's the 19th. It's about 7 in the morning. Not 7 in the morning. 9:30 in the morning. I woke up at 7. And you can see right here, this is where the cash opened up here, and it's kind of choppy. Okay, it's not really doing a whole heck of a lot right now. Okay, so earlier in the day there was some decent moves, right? It doesn't look like much, but it's actually a pretty decent range from this low here is, what is that, 68.5, all the way up to 04. So it's almost a 35-point range. And if let's just go back to the indicator settings. Okay, so this is set on a 5-minute chart. Now, if I was just using the base chart, meaning the 1 minute chart, I would just keep it at chart. The default would come up chart and 0, right? This is what the default is going to look like when you first, here, let me just show you really quick. Add it here, Delta Scalper. Okay, these are the defaults, chart and period value is 0. So that means that it will read the underlying chart. Trade entry signals turned on. No swing filter enabled. Positive delta, negative delta is 1. Momentum strength is 3. And you're going to see there's by itself, right? This is up until today, this is how the Delta Scalper worked. It didn't have this from time frame. This is the new addition, is the from time frame. And it does give decent signals. A lot of traders use it. They're very happy with it. Okay, they have their ways of using it. But you can see here, right? Yeah, it's nice. There's a lot more signals. Even here, you're getting some signals. And, for a lot of traders, they're fine with that. Now, what I'm saying is what we've done is we've added, because at the same time, while I'm happy with a lot of the signals, there's still some that I'm not happy with. Okay, I'm not happy with the sell here, not happy with the sell here, and adding a different dimension to it. Okay, so again, what we're going to do is we're going to change it from the basic 1 minute chart, but I want to see how it's how these higher time frames are basically are reacting to this market. Okay, we'll start with the 5, right? 5 minutes. Okay, because that's the chart that actually I showed you when I pulled it up. Okay, and then we're going to compare. We'll take a look at other markets as well. We'll take a look at crude, because I know it's crude. People always ask me about MNQ. Some of the currencies, euro currency. We'll look at mini Dow. We'll look at some different markets with different settings, so you could truly understand how important this new upgrade is. So, okay, yeah, I got to sell here, a sell here. I'm not happy with that, but now I got this nice buy here, another nice buy here. Okay, even if I was going to look at some of the previous days, I don't know what happened here with Ninja. I'm missing a big chunk of data. But if you just look back at some of these previous days, right? Sell here, right? Nice sell there, nice sell there. Just going back, and again, here even started earlier overnight. It just gave right off 7:30. There was your buy. There was your buy here. It did pull back. Now we do draw these zones out from when the Delta Scalper signal first appeared. That is your sort of your line in the sand, your stop for when you're taking a trade. Okay, because people always ask, how do I get long? Where do I put my stop? Well, that's why we have these zones drawn out. Okay, but again, I'm just choosing in these examples, 5 minutes. You could, if you don't like 5 minutes, you want to do 10 minutes, you can. If you want to use, you know, different, volume or tick, it's really powerful. Okay, I'll just leave it that. Let's take a look at crude oil. Okay, this is crude today, right? You can see the buy here, sell here. It's a buy. We're going sideways, catch this nice move down. Again, sometimes on these charts it doesn't look like much, but still, we're talking a move from 75 down to 25. It's a 50-cent move there. Even here's a nice move. This is what type of chart. This is still my 5-minute chart. Okay. If you want to use, again, that's a 3-minute signal. Sorry, 5-minute. If I want to do, you could change it to whatever minutes you want. 3 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's quite interesting here, right? You're seeing the sells here. The sell came in higher here. There's a short here. There's a buy long here. Just even going back, previous day, right? This nice move down from 30s, 81, 37 down into the 70s. This move up here. If you want to take a look at, we'll go to tick. We'll just go through these. Tick, I don't know what's a good tick to use in crude. 200. Now, if you watch the markets long enough, right, you generally have your favorite markets that you like to trade, okay? And you understand that, you should understand, a 200 tick chart might be equivalent to around a 1-minute chart, or, ticks, it's the amount of trades that take place. Now, a trade could be one contract, it could be 100 contracts, but it's the amount of trades. But generally speaking, if you're looking at ticks, it's not going to be the same as volume, because again, remember, each trade could be different volume, but you sort of have an idea. I think someone once released a sort of a calculator to sort of give you an idea, a rough idea of, how many ticks trade based off of, historical data. But here, this is a 200 tick chart in the crude, right? So it's giving you a bit more signals than the 3 minutes. So it just leads me to believe it's probably a little bit faster. If, you want to look at volume, okay, I don't know, 750 volume, okay. Just type in that, 750, okay. See here, it's a little cleaner, a lot of longs down here. Here was a short here, here was a long here. Even, if you want to use, say you're curious about how it performs on, how it looks on a 10 range chart, right? And you want to add it to your chart, okay? Okay, so this is 10 range, right? It's a bit cleaner as well. Nice move up, nice move down. Well, that's yesterday. Let's take a look at today. Nice move down here. Still catching this pressure on the market here. Catches that move. Now, people sometimes will ask, well, what if I want to have, say a 5-minute, okay, and I want to have a 3-minute signals also. Well, what you do is you just add another instance of it, so it's here, and then what you're going to do is you're going to change it from minute. The first one is 5. Change this one to 3, and then you probably want to change the color setup on it. Make it green, and oh, you already got red, so maybe make it deep pink. That way, you can have both signals here, right? There's your red, there's your pink. A little hard to see. Here's your green. Oh, sorry, here's your green, here's your blue. Okay. If you want to, I'm just saying you can do that, if you want to put even multiple time frames on there, and, say, a 3-minute with a 5-minute, it just gives you the option to see, oh, hey, you know what, there's some aligned signals. Now, does that make it stronger? Again, you'd have to do that test yourself. So let me just take off one of those. I don't want to confuse too many, but, that's a way that, say you want, because everyone says, oh, I got a top-down approach. I look at the weekly, the daily, the 12-hour, the 6-hour, the 3-hour, the 4-hour. 1 hour, 30 minutes. You know, if you want to add that extra layer, that's how you do it. Let's just take a look at, I don't know, look at currencies first here. 60. Then we'll jump into maybe a couple. Yeah, this market's kind of yucky. It's kind of a very tight range today. All right, but again, you know, it catches the sell over here. You can see we're coming down a little bit. Catches the buy. It is just a tight range, basically from 06 up to 20, 21. So not a big range today. But you can see, like on days like yesterday, where it's, you know, a nice trending day, catches this move down, you know, tries to catch these buys here, catches the rest of the move down. I think actually we were selling off a lot since the overnight session. You know, the day before here shorts, the sell buy didn't work out. You know, then you're getting short up here at 57, down into, you know, the 30s. You know, just curious here. It's a nice trend up. It's got your buys up here, got your short in here. Okay, what was that? That was 5 minute or 3 minute? I forget what I was looking at. 5 minute. And again, you know, a tick. If you want to look at a tick chart or tick based chart signals, you just change it to tick here. Okay, and you see you're getting some nice bit more signals there, a bit more aggressive. Again, you know, the shorter you go, the more aggressive it's going to be. Okay, 200 tick in the euro currency, actually not bad signals. Said today is just kind of a day, just going back and forth, but it's, you know, it's trying, it's doing its best here. Let's take a look at MNQ, because I know there's a lot of MNQ guys out there. Now I wouldn't use a 200 tick chart. Signals on it rather, but we'll start with let's just start with the simple base chart. Okay, and take a look. You know, it's like got that big push down from about 1 in the morning till about 3. Then we rallied back up towards that high, and we come back down towards that low. Right now, it's doing the calculation here. You know, if you're changing your chart on a market that has a lot of data, MNQ has a lot of data because obviously it covers a lot of price. It will be slower than, you know, a market like euro currency. Okay, so this is just the simple base chart. Okay, let me just open it up so it's a little easier to see. 1 minute chart, and you know, there's some decent signals, right? You know, honestly, I'm not going to lie. You know, from 19,950 here down, obviously short buys. You know, that's over 150 points right there. You know, catches some of the bigger moves. Okay, but you know, that's all well and good, but you know, you probably want to clean it up, right? If you could catch, imagine, you know, if you're scalping on a shorter time frame, and you could see signals that are coming in based off of a higher time frame, which do you think is going to be stronger? Well, you know, we can sit here and we can debate it, but like I was talking about earlier, you know, information that's obviously derived from a higher time frame and is generally you think is going to be stronger. Now, problem was there wasn't a way before to put those signals onto your lower time frame. Now there is, right? So imagine you can start trading the 5 minute signal. I mean, obviously the bars, you know, it's got to do its analysis over the 5 minutes, but it's going to plot it on your 1 minute. You can manage the trade a lot better, in my opinion. Okay, so here it's a lot cleaner now. Look at that, right? You're still catching that big move down, the move back up. You know, you're not getting chopped up with those little sell signals in here, right? Where's the cash open? This is the cash open. You know, we pop back up, then you got your sell signal off this high right here. You know, from basically, you know, let's call it 1900. You know, Jesus, down to 800. It's a 100-point move in the NASDAQ in 30 minutes, more or less. You know, it's just, in my opinion, it just adds a whole new dimension to trading. Okay. Now again, if you already have the Delta Scalper, you should have gotten an email for the upgrade. If you're interested in getting the Delta Scalper, go to deltascalper.com. Let me put the link up in here. Okay, where is it? Right here, deltascalper.com. Okay, and again, I'm trying to schedule a time to do a more thorough, in-depth training of the Delta Scalper. It will probably be next week. And again, if so, look for your emails, or I'm gonna actually I'll when I announce the webinar for that, I'm gonna put I'll put a special video together announcing it with a link that you can go to sign up for. For those of you that are following me on YouTube, but on my email list. So that you could watch it, because again, I don't want to go too much in depth on it right now, because it's kind of not complex, but there's a lot of different markets out there that people trade, and I'm sure I'll get a lot of requests. Hey, can you show me this chart? Show me this chart. Show me this chart. Or this time frame, that time frame. That doing it like on a video like this right now, I could go on for 3 hours showing you just different examples. But anyway, guys, Delta Scalper is a great tool. It allows you to read order flow on your existing bar chart. So again, click the link below to get started, and I'll see you guys on the inside. Take care.